Let's get right into it. There's a lot to unpack here.
Nowadays, many people form a relationship with the idea that they will leave it whenever they want to. This approach makes sense if you want to take advantage of the other party, but it doesn't make sense if you want to create a happy relationship.
And I 100% agree with this statement right here, because you should not be thinking of protecting yourself when you go into a relationship. I know this sounds very naive because anyone can hurt you. That is focusing on things that you cannot control. You should set your own standard in a relationship, or if you are going into a relationship, you should set your own standard is that you are a trusting person, you are honest, you don't lie, you don't cheat, you don't do any of that vices stuff, right? That's your standard. You need to live by it. But by having the thoughts that you can leave the relationship at any time, you contradict everything that you have built, your standard, essentially. I hope that makes sense. You should go into a relationship expecting the happiest relationship that you can have. That is it. Simple. You pick and then you stick with it from beginning to end. Because if once you flip-flopping throughout the relationship, it will essentially start to create problem out of nowhere, revolving around trust, honesty, and deceitfulness. Basically all the same thing, pretty much.
If you think you'll break up or get a divorce when you want to, and you believe your partner thinks the same, then it's a zero-sum game.
This is very important because no matter what stage of the relationship you're in, whether you're married with kids, married with no kids, boyfriend, girlfriends, or the dating stage, right? It doesn't matter what stage of the relationship you guys are in. This is a very important quote here from the book that I read, Compound Effect, right? You are 100% responsible for your relationship. It's not 50-50, it's not one person giving more in a sense of 51-49, 70-30. No, you are 100% responsible for your relationship, whether it succeed or fail. And that is being done through your standard, like I mentioned earlier. Again, very important before going into a relationship. Plain and simple.
You can't, for example, clean the house, cook meals, and look after your children when your husband is working. After all, he can get a divorce at any time. He will be left with money and experience, and you will be left with nothing. You also can't buy your fiancé gifts and pay on dates. After all, breakups can happen to you at any time. I'm paraphrasing here, forgive me. She will be left with gifts and money saved on meals, and you will be left with nothing. In other words, if you don't want to be taken advantage of, whatever it is you do for the other party must be immediately balanced by what the other party does for you. It is said that trust is the foundation of a relationship, but how could you trust the other person when they think they don't have to be with you forever?
That is correct. You just gotta go into a relationship, because I feel like, to me, if you think that you can leave at any time, seems a little extreme. I feel like that statement can be broken down into a spectrum, okay? Like, yes, you technically can leave at any time, but that should not be your primary way of thinking when you go into a relationship. That shouldn't be a thought at all. However, what you should be doing is setting that standard and relaying that message to the other person. Hey, this is my standard right here. He also has a standard. If it match up, then you guys are together. I feel like the phrase, I can leave whenever I want to, I can leave at any time, only applies when the standard has been broken. When the bond that the two people had agreed upon has been broken, either through lying, dishonesty, cheating, deceit, all the same thing, all the vices, all the sins in a relationship. Once that has been broken, I think that sentence can be applied, should be applied, and must be exercised very seriously by the victim, I guess.